Excellent.
Civil services applications. Itu service jalan. Ni maksudnya dia. Maksudnya kosong ya. Awal kita mereka mencari.
Hello, all of you join fast. So far only 29 students joined. Out of 120, only 29 students. Hello. All of you join fast. Okay. In the last class, we have discussed about lumped parameter system, unsteady state heat conduction. So generally for large plates and wires whose surface area is more when compared with thickness, generally you can apply lumped parameter system. So what is there in that? So internal conductance resistance is very, very less when compared with what? When compared with outside surface convective resistance. Here L by Ka, that is internal conductance resistance, is very small. Whereas at the same time, you have to consider outside conductive resistance, that is 1 by Ha. If you consider any body having initial temperature Ti, at any point of time, tau temperature is T. And what is the heat that is coming out? If you heat the body, so by negative internal resistance, what is the heat that is coming out? How do you calculate? Minus rho Cv rho Vc or rho Cv into dt by d tau. So heat coming out. So we are taking the heat from the system. Heat given by the system is negative. That's why minus mass into specific heat into temperature change per unit time. It is minus rho Vc. Rho into V, volume, density into volume, mass. Mass into C, specific heat, mc, temperature difference. mc, temperature difference, delta T. So that is minus rho Vc into d, capital T by d tau, where tau is the time. Because in the unsteady state conduction, there is variation of temperature with respect to time. So in the lumped parameter analysis, what we have done, we have equated the heat coming out from the body by negative internal resistance by considering the outside convective resistance, that is minus rho Vc d capital T by d tau. We have equated to Ha, convective transfer, that is given the outside convective environment. That's why that is equal to Ha T minus T free stream. H is the convective heat transfer coefficient, A is the surface area, and T at any temperature of the body at any given point of time, and T free stream, temperature of the surrounding fluid or ambient temperature. So by equating that heat transfers, by separating variables and by integrating the variables are temperature and time, or otherwise temperature varies with respect to time. Here, so we have defined time, or we have notated time with tau, small t, sometimes small t, and in some textbooks small t, but here I have taken tau. This is the tau, time. So by neglecting internal resistance and the parameter analysis, by equating heat transfer rate minus rho Vc d capital T by d tau is equal to Ha, so T minus T free stream, and by applying the initial boundary condition, what is the boundary condition? At time is equal to 0, temperature is equal to Ti. So by applying the boundary condition, you can calculate the C1 constant after substituting the available values in the equation. After integration, we will get the temperature distribution for unsteady heat conduction condition. For lumped parameter system, the temperature distribution given as T minus T free stream divided by Ti minus T free stream is equal to exponential of minus Ha by rho Vc into T. Hello? Okay. So are you visible now? Okay. So here the temperature distribution equation. The temperature distribution equation for the unsteady state heat conduction for any system. So T minus T free steam divided by Ti minus T free steam is equal to exponential of minus HA by rho Vc into tau, where T is the time temperature of the body at any given point of time. So TA instead of T free steam, to avoid confusion, TA I have written as TA, A for ambient. TA is the ambient temperature. Outside ambient temperature, outside convective environment temperature. Instead of T free steam, you can take T free steam also, but to avoid confusion, TA ambient temperature divided by Ti initial temperature. So TA is the ambient temperature. So exponential of so HA by rho is in tau. Hello, Azad?
Sir, yes, sir.
Visible? Screen is visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, right. Now, temperature distribution equation, exponential function. So here, up to this, yesterday, we derived this equation. In the last class, we derived this equation. So T minus T free steam divided by Ti minus T free steam is equal to e to the power minus HA by rho Vc into tau, where T instead of T free stream, I've written out TA, that is ambient temperature. So any notation can be taken. In some textbook, TA he is giving. In some other textbook, T free stream is giving. So TA ambient temperature, temperature at any given point of time, Ti initial temperature, and e to the power minus H convective transfer coefficient, A surface area, and into T into tau time divided by rho density of the solid, B volume of the solid, C is the specific heat. Okay, na? So you have to analyze this equation so that after verification we will get two byte numbers. One is byte number, other one is Fourier number. What is byte number? What is Fourier number? We will discuss now. So the above equation, this equation gives the temperature distribution in the body for what? For Newtonian heating or cooling. Newtonian heating in the lumped parameter system. While explaining lumped parameter system, I have told that it is Newtonian heating or Newtonian cooling. If temperature increases, Newtonian heating. If the temperature decreases, Newtonian cooling. And it indicates that the temperature rises. If you observe this equation, the temperature rises exponentially with time. E to the power minus tau, this is tau, HA into tau. That's why it indicates the temperature rises exponentially with time. Okay, na? Okay. Now observe this second slide. So temperature versus time. Temperature T, degree centigrade, y-axis. X-axis time, tau, x-axis. So exponential heating. So if we heat with respect to time, as time increases, temperature increases. And in the case of exponential cooling, time increases, temperature decreases. So this is exponential heating curve, this is exponential cooling curve. Here temperature on y-axis, time on x-axis. Okay na? So temperature rises exponentially with respect to time. Temperature decreases exponentially with respect to time. So that is the one important observation in this Lumber parameter system. And next, the quantity rho Vc by Ha. Rho Vc by Ha. If you take in that equation, so here Ha by rho Vc. If you reverse that one, so rho Vc by Ha, the quantity rho Vc by Ha has the dimensions of time and is called the time constant, denoted by tau Th, thermal time constant is called thermal time constant, Th for thermal, tau time. So if you write the dimensions for rho Vc and Ha, kg per meter cube density into volume meter cube per kg into specific heat joule per degree centigrade and specific heat degree like that, degree centigrade per joule. So if you write and into second, so finally all the items, if you write the dimensions for all the parameters rho, Vc and Ha, finally the unit is second. So finally into second, so all are cancelled, meter cube, kg, degree centigrade, joule, meter square, all are cancelled. Finally second, so the unit is second. That's why, so rho Vc by Ha we can call it as thermal time constant. Rho Vc by Ha is called thermal time constant, denoted by tau Th, tau, this is tau, Th, thermal constant, thermal time constant, very important. Rho Vc by Ha having the dimensions of time and is called thermal time constant, tau Th. Its value, that is tau Th, thermal time constant, is indicative of the rate of response of a system, to a sudden change in its environmental temperature. That is how fast a body will respond to a change in the environmental temperature. For example, if we heat a body, in the case of heat treatment of metals, after heating the metals, you have to place them into, you have to quenching, you have to quench them into a liquid or any quenching media. That is, if you suddenly put a body in its environmental temperature, how fast a body will respond to change its environmental temperature. So that's why thermal time constant gives us the indication of how fast a body will respond to a change in its environmental temperature, outside temperature. Suddenly, if we put a body in the air, in the environment, so we heat, it is some temperature. If you suddenly put it to the, after taking out from the furnace, if you suddenly put into some environment or any other device into some environmental conditions, how fast a body will respond to change in environmental temperature. That is the importance of thermal time constant. So tau Th, thermal time constant, is equal to rho Vc by Ha. Then you can write rho Vc by Ha as 1 by Ha into rho Vc or rho Vc into 1 by Ha. Okay, you can write thermal time constant is equal to 1 by Ha into rho Vc. But what is 1 by Ha in this lumped parameter system or in the unsteady state heat conduction? So by neglecting internal conduction resistance, 1 by Ha is the convective thermal resistance, RTH. Here only one resistance, that is convective resistance. 1 by HA is the convective thermal resistance or thermal resistance. But rho Vc, as already explained, what is rho Vc? Thermal capacitance, already given in the last class. Rho Vc, CTH, TH thermal. So thermal capacitance. So rho Vc is the thermal capacitance, where RTH is equal to 1 by HA. Convective heat transfer resistance or resistance to the convective heat transfer. Thermal resistance, that is equal to 1 by HA. What is that 1 by HA? Resistance to the convective transfer or convective heat transfer resistance or convective thermal resistance. Next, CTH, that is rho Vc, lumped thermal capacitance of the solid. Lumped thermal capacitance of the solid. So that's why thermal time constant, you can write product of thermal resistance and thermal capacitance. Thermal time constant can be written as a product of thermal resistance and thermal capacitance. Any increase in the thermal resistance or thermal capacitance will cause a solid to respond more slowly. With more resistance, so solid variation of temperature slowly to changes in its thermal environmental and will increase the time required to reach the thermal equilibrium. So if you thermal resistance increases or thermal capacitance increases and you reach the equilibrium temperature, it takes time. So not to reach the equilibrium temperature and equilibrium condition, it takes time. So more time is required. That's why if the thermal resistance is increased, thermal capacitance is increased. So there is more time is required to reach the equilibrium condition. That's why this is very, very important. Thermal time constant in the lumped parameter system is a product of thermal resistance and thermal capacitance. If there is more thermal resistance, more thermal capacitance, obviously, so more time is required to reach the thermal equilibrium for the particular system. More time is required to reach the thermal equilibrium of the particular system. So that is the importance of thermal time constant. So what is thermal time constant? It is another unit of time, that is seconds. But it is the product. It already calculated thermal time constant rho Vc by HA. But you can write this rho Vc by HA into product of thermal resistance and thermal capacitance. Okay, na? Now, if you take the equation T minus TA divided by TA minus TA is equal to e to the power minus HA tau by rho Vc. The power on the exponential e to the power minus this power. Okay, that HA into tau by rho Vc can be arranged. Into the dimensional form as follows. So this power on the exponential HA into tau by tau is the time. H is the convective transfer quotient, A surface area, rho density, V volume, C specific heat. This exponential can be rearranged into dimensional form as follows. That is, so the dimensional form. So you have to take this exponential into dimensional form. You can analyze our heat transfer problem, answer heat transfer problem in a clear-cut manner. That's why this exponential can be written or arranged into dimensional form as follows. HA by rho Vc into tau I, that is equal to, you can rewrite this one for product of H into this one. You can multiply with area and divide with area, then A into A square and divide with A. Okay. B, you can multiply with V and divide with V in this equation. Then the V by V square. And you can multiply with K and divide with K. multiply with k and divide with k. So that H by HV volume by K thermal conductivity, HV by Ka into A square into K by rho V square C into tau. Tau is tau T is there. Tau. Tau is there. Tau. So HV by Ka into A square into K into tau by rho V square C. If you simplify this again, this will come like this only. HA into tau divided by rho V C only. To have into a dimensional form, we are writing like that. That's all. Nothing is there in that. To arrange into dimensional form, we are writing like this. So B by A. What is B by A? Volume by area. That is characteristic length. Volume in meter cube. Area meter square. So meter cube by meter square. What is that? We will get meter. That's why volume by area we can carry HLC. Volume by area HLC. Characteristic length. Where LC is the characteristic length. Divided by K is K into this K by rho C. K by rho C. Alpha thermal diffusivity. K by rho C alpha into tau. Tau is there. So again, V square by here V square. V square by A square. V square by A square. LC square. Where alpha is equal to K by rho C. K this one. K by rho C. Where alpha is equal to K by rho into C. Rho C. Alpha is K by rho C. The thermal diffusivity is solid. Already explained while discussing initial classes. What is the thermal diffusivity? Alpha is equal to K by rho C. Where alpha is the thermal diffusivity of the solid. That's why what is our aim here? We are arranging HA into tau by rho V into two dimensionless groups. One is HLC by K into this one alpha tau by LC square. Alpha tau by LC square. HLC. What is H? Conductive transfer coefficient. LC. Characteristic length. That is volume by area. Characteristic LC is characteristic length. Volume by area. Volume by area. So for any solid, for example, if you take any cylinder, sphere, or plate, or cube. So for cube volume, L cube, for example, L is the side, L cube, area L square, to surface area. So okay, like that. Area. So 6L square divided by okay. Sorry for the disturbance. Okay. For example, a cube. How do you calculate characteristic length? Volume by area. Volume of the cube. If L is the side length, L cube. Volume of the cube, L cube. Area, surface area of the cube, L square. But one side, there are 6 sides are there per cube. 6L square. So L cube by 6L square. Then L by 6. Characteristic length for the cube. L by 6. Okay, that will discuss later. Okay. Volume by area. That is characteristic length. HLC by. So you can arrange this HA into tau by LV into two product of two dimensionless groups. One is HLC by K. HLC by K. Other one is alpha tau by LC square. So where alpha, the K by rho C thermal diffusion is solid. So here HLC by K is known as Biot number. Okay, we'll discuss later. Now HLC by K is known as Biot number. At the same time, alpha tau by LC square is known as Fourier number. H LC by K Biot number. H kinetic transfer coefficient. LC characteristic length. K thermal conductor given solid. This is known as Biot number. But how do you get characteristic length? Volume by area. Characteristic length of the given solid. Volume by area. Volume in meters cube. Area in meters square. So meter cube by meter square. Then what are the units after cancellation? The meter will be there. That's why LC, characteristic length. H and C by K is Biot number. Where LC is the characteristic length. H is the convective heat transfer coefficient. K is the thermal conductivity. Again, alpha tau by LC square. What is alpha? Thermal diffusivity. But how do you calculate thermal diffusivity? K by rho C. And what is tau? Time. Next, what is LC? Characteristic length of the given solid. So thermal is alpha K, thermal conductivity of the given solid by rho, density of the given solid. C specific heat. That's why here what is our aim or objective in studying this HA into tau by rho BC? We are arranging this into exponential function, exponential. The power on the exponential, that is HA into tau by rho BC. We are arranging into product of into two important dimensionless groups. First group is known as Biot number HRC by K. Second group is known as Fourier number, that is alpha tau by LC square. So here, what is LC? Already discussed. Characteristic length. That is the volume of the solid by surface area of the solid. So characteristic length for any solid, given solid, you have to calculate characteristic length. How do you calculate? Volume of the solid divided by surface area of the solid. That is volume V by AS surface area. Okay, na? The values of characteristic length for simple geometric shapes are given below. Okay, na? The flat plate. First example. Flat plate. Flat plate has what dimensions? Length, breadth, height. Length, breadth, height. Okay, na? Length, breadth, height. Okay. Now, how do we calculate characteristic length LC for flat plate? How do you calculate LC for flat plate? So LBH into 2BH. B get cancelled, H get cancelled, L by 2. Semi thickness. Here L is the thickness, not a length. B the breadth. Breadth means this is breadth B. Okay, na? L is the thickness. L is thickness only. This is B. And this is thickness. And height. H is the height. So if you flat plate, so L into B H by 2BH, B get cancelled, H get cancelled, L by 2. Where L is the thickness of the plate only, L by 2. So characteristic length LC for flat plate is L by 2, semi thickness. Here very important, L is not length, thickness only. Where L is the thickness of the plate. Characteristic length for a flat plate, that is L by 2, where L is the thickness of the plate. Next, for a cylinder of length L and radius R, how do you calculate cylinder LC? Volume by surface area. Volume by surface area. So pi r area into length of the cylinder, that is area pi r square L divided by 2 pi r L. So after cancelling pi 1 r and L by r by 2. So characteristic length for cylinder is equal to r by 2. Very important. All of you refer the textbooks and verify. So it's simple only from the basic mathematics. Characteristic length for the cylinder r by 2, where r is the radius of the cylinder. Next, characteristic length for the sphere LC is equal to volume by surface area. Volume 4/3 pi r cube per sphere. Surface area 4 pi r square. Of simplification r by 3, where r is the radius of the sphere. And next, similarly, I will explain per cube. What is the characteristic length? LC is equal to L is the size of the one side. L dimension of the one side of the cube. So L cube volume divided by 6L square, because 6 spaces are there in the cube. So each side L. So for each face area L square. So total 6 face area 6L square. L cube by 6L square. Then L by 6. Where L is the side of the cube. So these are very, very important. You have to solve some problems on this. Very, very important. All these analysis, all mathematical analysis. And just simple, very simple. Characteristic length volume by surface area. For a flat plate, that is L by 2, where L is the thickness of the L by 2 semi thickness, where L is the thickness of the plate. For a cylinder of length L, so characteristic length LC is equal to R by 2, where R is the radius of the cylinder. For a sphere, characteristic length is equal to R by 3, where R is the radius of the sphere. And for cube, characteristic length is equal to L by 6, where L is the side of the cube. Like that, here LC is very important characteristic dimension. LC is a very important characteristic dimension. So, again, HA by rho Wiesenthal can be written into product of two numbers. What is HLC by K into alpha tau by LC square. So, HLC by K is known as byte number, whereas alpha tau by LC square is known as Fourier number. So here in the above equation here HA into tau by rho Vc, in the HLC by, this can be written into two product of two numbers, HLC by K, that is byte number, into alpha tau by LC square, Fourier number. The above equation, in the above equation, HLC by K is called the byte number Bi. Very, very important. HLC by K is called the byte number Bi. So byte number HLC by K, you can write LC by K into 1 by H. For unit area, LC by K into 1 by HA. Area get cancelled. So LC by K divided by 1 by H. So this HLC by K is a byte number. It gives an indication of the ratio of the internal conduction resistance. What is L by Ka? Internal conduction resistance to 1 by HA. Area get cancelled. So this HLC by K can be written as LC by K divided by 1 by, so 1 by HA, 1 by HA. So it indicates, so byte number indicates is a ratio of internal conduction resistance to the surface resistance, surface convective resistance. LC by K divided by 1 by HA. LC by K conduction resistance, 1 by HA. LC by K A, 1 by HA, A get cancelled. That's why LC by K internal conduction resistance, 1 by H convective resistance. That's why byte number is indication of ratio of internal conduction resistance to the surface convective resistance. When the value of byte number Bi is small, it indicates that the system has a small internal resistance. That's why when the byte number is small, the system is, because the ratio of, so internal resistance to the convective resistance. That's why when the byte number is small, it indicates that system has a small internal conduction resistance. That is related to small temperature resistance. That existence of practically in the form of, within the form of, so practically uniform temperature within the system. Existence of practically uniform temperature within the system. That's why, so when you apply this lumped parameter system, lumped parameter analysis, and the byte number is less than, very small, you can apply the byte number, you can apply the, so lumped parameter analysis. For that, byte number should be as small as possible. So the convective resistance then predominates in internal if the internal conduction resistance is very small, then what about outside surface convective resistance? The convective resistance then predominates. That's why here what is important? Convective resistance. And because of we are neglecting the conduction resistance, internal conduction resistance. So if you neglect internal conduction resistance, you can apply the Lambert parameter system. So convective resistance is then predominates, and the transient phenomena is controlled by the convective heat exchange. If internal conduction is very small, then the transient phenomena is controlled by the convective heat exchanger or convective heat transfer. That's why here important resistance is convective resistance. That's why, so if the byte number is less than 0.1, that is byte number is very small, internal conduction resistance can be neglected, and you have to predominantly analyze or predominantly accept, or you have to take into consider the convective resistance. That's why if the byte number is less than 0.1, byte number is less than 0.1, the lumped heat capacity approach can be used. That's why when you use lumped heat capacity, a lumped parameter system, lumped parameter analysis, when do you use? When the byte number is less than 0.1. Byte number, very important, HLC by K. How do we calculate byte number? HLC by K. Where H is the convective heat transfer coefficient, LC is the characteristic length, K, HLC by K. K is thermal conductivity of the solid. LC characteristic length, volume by surface area. When the byte number is less than 0.1, the lumped heat capacity approach can be used to advantage with simple shapes such as plates, cylinders, spheres, and cubes within error of 5%. Within error of 5%. That's why. So when we apply lumped parameter analysis to these plates, cylinders, spheres, and cubes, when the byte number is less than 0.1. That's why if you want to apply the lumped parameter system, you have to first you have to calculate byte number. That is HLC by K. If byte number is less than 0.1, then only you can apply the lumped parameter analysis. Here error is up to 5% can be allowed. Now, next number, the non-dimensional factor. Next one, the non-dimensional factor alpha into tau by LC square is called the Fourier number, FO. This is a dimensional number, dimensionless, non-dimensional factor. Fourier number, second one, that is FO, Fourier number. How do you calculate Fourier number? Alpha into tau divided by LC square, where alpha is the thermal diffusivity, tau is the time, LC is the characteristic length. So Fourier number, alpha tau by LC square. It, that Fourier number, signifies the degree of penetration of heating or cooling effect through a solid. With the alphabetic Fourier number, you can how much, how fast that heat is entering into the solid, whether heating or cooling. What is the degree of penetration of heating or cooling effect to a solid? To a solid. That's why. So the you can write the HA by HA into tau by rho BC as product of two important dimensionless groups. First one is byte number, that is HLC by K. Second one is Fourier number, alpha tau by LC square. So the first one, byte number signifies whether the internal resistance is small or not. Generally the byte number is less than 0.1. You can apply the lumped parameter analysis. Otherwise, byte number can be calculated. If it is less than 0.1, then only can go for lumped parameter analysis. If it is greater than 0.1, you have to go to other systems. That we'll discuss in the next class. And in next classes. Okay. Now, using the non-dimensional terms, that is byte number and Fourier number. But on the temperature distribution equation, T minus TA by TA, Ti minus TA is equal to e to the power minus HA into tau by rho BC, e to the power minus HA into tau by rho BC. But HA into tau by rho BC can be written a product of byte number and Fourier number. That's why using the non-dimensional terms, that is byte number and Fourier number, you can write temperature distribution equation theta by theta I is equal to only theta by theta I is equal to T minus TA and temperature, free stream temperature. T minus TA divided by Ti minus TA is equal to e power is equal to temperature distribution equation T minus TA divided by Ti minus TA is equal to e to the power minus Bi into Fo, e to the power minus Bi into Fo. Okay, where Bi is the byte number, Fo is the Fourier number. So this analysis, today's class is very, very important. By using this analysis, you have to solve some problems. So temperature distribution. So byte number. So your temperature distribution equation is a exponential function of minus HA into tau by rho VC. That is written e to the power minus Bi into Fo, where Bi is the byte number, Fo is the Fourier number. But when do you apply byte number? So when do you, how do you calculate byte number first? Byte number is equal to HLC by K, where H is the conductivity transfer coefficient, LC the characteristic length, divided by K is thermal conductivity given solid. LC characteristic length, how do you calculate characteristic length? How do you calculate characteristic length for any given solid? Volume by surface area. If you take first sphere, for example, volume by surface area, 4/3 pi r cube volume divided by surface area of the sphere, 4 pi r square. After simplification, that will be r by 3. R by 3. For sphere, characteristic length LC is equal to r by 3. Like that. So byte number is very, very important. Plays an important role whether it apply the lumped parameter system or not. Okay, na? So now we have solved 4 or 5 problems on this lumped parameter system. Generally, in the final exam, you are getting these type of problems. Okay, na? Okay, one problem I will give description. So a 50 centimeter copper slab, 6.25 mm thick, has a uniform temperature of 300 degrees centigrade. Its temperature is suddenly lowered to 36 degrees centigrade. Calculate the time required for the plate to reach the temperature of 108 degrees centigrade. Take density rho is equal to 9,000 kg per meter cube. Specific heat 0.38 kilojoules per kg Kelvin. And thermal conductivity 370 watt per meter Kelvin. And H is equal to 90 watts per meter square degree centigrade. Okay, na? So here a copper slab of dimensions B into H into L thickness, 50 into 50 into 6.25 mm thickness. So initially, not initially, it is at a temperature of 300 degrees centigrade. The temperature is suddenly lowered to, if you keep that hot copper slab into the environment air, it is lowered to 36 degrees centigrade. So temperature from 300 degrees to finally it reaches the temperature 36 degrees centigrade. So in between there are 300, 290, 280, 270, like 200, like that. So calculate time required for the plate to reach in between the temperature of 108 degrees centigrade. So what is the time required for the plate to reach the temperature of 108 degrees? How do you calculate? Time required to reach the temperature, because we have the equation T minus TA divided by Ti minus Ta is equal to e to the power minus Ha by rho v into tau. Time. That is tau is to be calculated. All remaining all other things are available from the problem. So substitute in the equation, you get the tau. So before that, we have to get LC, characteristic length. But first you have to calculate byte number. First, after calculation of byte number, you have to verify whether the byte number is less than 0.1 or not. If the byte number is less than 0.1, then only you have to go for the applying the equation, that is equation that T minus Ta by Ti minus Ta is equal to e to the power minus Ha into tau by rho Vc. That equation can be applied only when byte number is less than 0.1. First, you have to calculate characteristic length for this. Surface area of the plate. So that is 2 into 0.5. Otherwise, so LC here thickness by 2. So volume by surface area or semi thickness, you can take that one also. That is 6.25 divided by 2. That will be in mm. After that, you have to calculate LC 0.003125 meters. After that, you have to calculate byte number. Okay, na? So okay, this problem can be solved tomorrow. So any doubt? That's all for today. That's all for today. Any doubt? That's all for today. There are no doubts. I'm stopping.
sir.
Okay. Thank you. Tomorrow we'll solve problems on this. Lambda parameter analysis, very important. You may get one problem on this Lambda parameter analysis.